Welcome to Change, sponsored by the Senior Barn of Schaumburg, where nutritious meals, friendly peers, and social activities are available every day of the week under the able direction and guidance of Marina Lvovich. The cost and location are available to all. And we seniors do meet once a month to reflect on the past and to discuss how it influences the present and our life. And our program today is about games we played. And I'd like to introduce our panel. We have Adelita Zaya, who was born in California and now lives in Hanover Park. She's a retired teacher's aide and has been involved in District 54 schools and is still teaching Bible study at her church. She is presently the director of
Grupo Folclórico Quetzal,
a group of young children, I didn't dare say that, dancing to Mexican folklore music. And she's the mother of 5 and the grandmother of
5 children.
5, okay.
One was just recently born.
Okay, coming on the way. And Sally Medansky, she was born in Chicago and now lives in Schaumburg. She's a former elementary school teacher, Paisan, and has had her hands in many careers such as Margie's Bridal, Huntington Learning Center, accounting in Michael's Craft Store, and she's the mother of 4. Including a set of twins and a grandmother of 5, also including a set of twins. Talk about doubles. And we have Fran Rogas, and she was born in Chicago and now lives in Mount Prospect. She was formerly a commercial and graphic artist. And even though she is retired, she still lets her creative juices design outfits and costumes for the family. She has 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. Plenty to keep her busy, and she wears her age well, doesn't she? And I am Lori Candle. I was born in Brooklyn and live in Schaumburg, and I'm a retired elementary school teacher. I'm the mother of 2, the grandmother of 2, with 4 grand dogs and 1 grand horse. Can anybody beat that? Today we're going to be talking about games that we played. And games have been a part of human nature from ancient to modern times. The unpredictability of the outcome and agreement on rules and the competition are part of the enjoyment of participation. Physical contests date well back into ancient times, spotlighted by the Olympics. Some of the earliest indoor activities were relegated to the nobility. They had the money. One of the first board games that we are familiar with is a challenging form of chess, which has many various names and many changes throughout the years. Modern chess evolved in Spain and Italy in the 15th century. Card games evolved in Italy, but the 4 suits that we recognize as hearts, diamonds, spades, and clubs, they made their appearance in France in the Middle Ages. Cribbage and pinochle, those appeared in the 17th century. Outdoor games were always popular during the holidays and were participated in by everyone. Lawn billiards, later brought inside as 10-pin bowling, football, tennis, they predate modern eras and had different rules. As the years continued, many varieties of games came about. Battleship in the early 1900s, role-playing games, dominoes, and now the golden age of electronic games. Let's take a peek back in our own lives and revisit our early days of competition, fun, and games. I know as a youngster, we spent much of our time outdoors playing, and if it was anything like my life, we stayed outside until my mother stuck her head out the window and called our name in for the meals. What outdoor games do you recall playing, and could you tell us something about it?
I played kick the can. Can't remember how to do it any longer, but we had a blast. And then we had tag, you're it. Did a lot of running. That's what we did outside.
That was a healthy form of recreation too.
Oh, it was
and kick
good.
the can, all you had to, we kicked the can and then we had to hide.
Yes.
And we had to be found. How about you, Sally?
I remember playing hopscotch, Red Rover, come over, jump rope, blind man's bluff. Enjoyable.
Which was your favorite?
A jump rope.
Why?
I really enjoyed that. I don't know, it was something I could do, and I just enjoyed it.
Did you ever play double dutch?
Yes, I wasn't so good at that, but I love to watch it.
Salvation. I couldn't do it at all. And Adelita?
Well, very much similar to yours. I enjoyed hopscotch as well. However, I also enjoyed the bike riding, playing with my hula hoop, climbing trees. I would play sometimes shooting marbles outside because it wasn't allowed inside the house. And then on school playgrounds, the monkey bars. That was one of my favorite places.
That's another thing about the monkey bars. Underneath the monkey bars was concrete.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I went on a playground with my granddaughter the other day, and it's rubber and no monkey bars.
I know they don't call them that. I don't know what they call them. Oh, no, they don't exist, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They took them away. We used to hang the butcher from the very, very top with concrete down below.
Yes, yes.
It was a lot of fun playing out of doors, and I think that really kept us healthy, and that's something even Mrs. Obama has been pushing beside the food.
It's
with
wise.
physical activity.
Very wise.
Outside. I mean, our childhood was different from today. Now let's go indoors. Do you have any favorite game that you like to play with your family indoors?
Two, Parcheesi, which my dad, God love his soul, had the patience to teach us, and Monopoly. So we learned to be very wise with money, which is a big joke. But
you know, that's
what
going to
we
be
play.
a future program that we're having. We don't stop playing, which it seems children today have done because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. We'll continue with this discussion in our next segment, but we'll take a slight break now. Well, Fran, you mentioned about Parcheesi. That's one of the older games also. And Sally, do you have any games that you played with your family?
Well, I played pick up sticks, and my favorite was Uncle Wiggily. I just love that. It was very enjoyable for me.
How do you play Uncle Wiggily?
Oh gosh, it was a board game, and you moved this rabbit-looking thing along the path.
Okay.
And that was enjoyable. Dominoes, of course, and card games, and Bunko, which was popular then. You don't hear so much of it now.
It's
Is it?
coming
We
back.
played at the barn
Okay.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so that was...
What was your favorite?
I really liked the dominoes. I thought that was
They're even using
interesting.
that effect on advertisements
Yes.
now, you know,
Yes.
retirement.
I just learned how to do them. There's hope.
There is. And Adelita?
Well, my family, not really. We didn't play that many games together. It was just too much arguing. So what we ended up learning was more like parent to parent. So like my mom taught me to play jacks and pick up sticks. And then she also taught me to play checkers and Chinese checkers, solitaire games, which came in handy for later on when one would spend time alone.
Right,
But I would
yeah.
say my favorite was playing jacks.
You had to be skillful for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play it when I was young, but I tried it, and I'm not very good at it. So don't challenge me.
Okay.
Now, you said about playing alone, and Jack's was something you could play alone. But you have something that you used to do alone, Sally.
I'm an only child, so I did spend a lot of time by myself and making up entertainment for me. I loved paper dolls. And the fun of it was all of these were on a sheet of paper in a booklet, and you had to actually cut them out. I know now from my grandchildren, they're already cut out. You just have to separate them from the perforation. So I thought part of the fun was the cutting and seeing that progress.
And it taught you a skill also.
Yes, yes.
So paper dolls were really part of, and you've got those interesting little things in front of you.
And this was Lincoln Logs.
Could you show it how it works?
I only brought a couple of them, but you would build, you would build up whatever you wanted to build. They kind of fit into each other. And depending on what you want, we would build houses or fences or whatever. And it was one of the things I saved for when I had my children. And I've got 3 boys, so they loved it.
Yeah.
And yes, and my grandchildren play it. So this was something I was gonna put in the garage sale, but I thought, no, I'm just gonna keep it because now it's 3 generations. So nice. They look a little worn, but that's part of the, the attraction, I think.
I like that. Right. Now, you were mentioning something about Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, Queen Elizabeth is the longest living monarch in the world. And when I was a child, she had a sister, Margaret, and the 2 princesses had paper dolls. So we had paper dolls of princesses, and then there was the quintuplets that were born in my age group.
Yeah, the
Unfortunately, they're gone. But it was a lot of fun doing these cutting.
I enjoyed paper dolls too, and I had different types. The ones that you would cut out, the quintuplets, and then later on, because of Disney, they had other types of paper dolls where you would just rub the paper up against the body and then the outfit would stick on.
And my cousin had one, a life-size paper doll of Shirley Temple. And the clothes, I envied that.
Yes.
Did I envy it?
Oh, yes.
That was something my mother just smiled at. And I looked at. But we also used to make our own clothes for it. When we got tired of the clothes that she was wearing, we'd go to the Sears catalog and find a outfit.
To go. Yeah.
And do it. Okay, do you have anything else that you did when you were alone?
Well, I learned to, because I was alone a lot through illness, drawing, sewing, was taught at 5 to hand sew, coloring, and the paper dolls. And I think that was enough. Kept me out of trouble.
Isn't that wonderful? Because that drawing really influenced your later life, becoming a graphic artist.
Who would know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Passions of the youth sometimes do carry over into your careers and your later life, which is really wonderful. Did anybody here learn how to knit, crochet, tat, embroider?
Oh,
yes, I
all
did.
of the above.
Right, all of the above, because I know that when no one was around, for instance, there's a question about how did you entertain yourself. Playing music quite a bit was my entertainment, and then with that, tied in with that, needlework, embroidery.
To this day, I cannot watch TV and know what a commercial is really all about. I have to listen to it and watch it 10, 20 times because I'm busy knitting, crocheting, or hand sewing.
And that's me,
Yeah, which is so true, I know my mother taught me all those things because as a young mother, she used to go out with the neighborhood with the baby carriages in a little circle, and everybody used to gossip, but everybody did some form of creative work, and I know I learned a lot from her.
Now those very helpful, useful items are given to charities to help the needy, and so we volunteer with that.
Yes, it's sad you go to craft fairs and the young people don't appreciate the hard work that was in it.
They have no idea the amount of hours that goes in.
Exactly. So, but learning all those things do affect us in our later life, and it is something that we really do enjoy. Okay, let's take a look at our families. Did your children spend as much time outdoors as you did growing up, or was it a different life for your children?
Well, I think my children spent more time outside than I did. They had each other to play with, especially the twins. They were their own best playmates. But we had built a basketball court, so that kept the boys busy. And just writing with chalk on the sidewalk, that was fun.
Yes.
And with hopscotch out there also. And a favorite, we lived on a hill at one of our homes. We had a slip and slide, and it had water that would come on either side, and that was wonderful fun for the children in summer. So, and the gym sets, of course.
Makes me want to be a child
Yes.
again. And Roald Dahl, a favorite writer of mine, said, "Life is more fun if you play games." And I think your family had fun.
Oh, yes.
We'll be right back after a short break. We've been talking about games in our family. Are there any indoor games that you played with your family that was a great big hit, or something that you tried to encourage your kids to play and it was a bummer? Can you think of anything, Sally?
Well, all of my children really enjoyed Legos. When I was young, we had something called Tinker Toys, and I think that was the forerunner of the Legos. Even my daughter enjoyed that. They would get these kits, and in fact, now they're all adults, but the main ones they still have put together and kept together. So a lot of that is in our basement. And my daughter and youngest son, they loved hook rugs. They loved that, and we would display that on the wall. And Cabbage Patch Dolls. That was a big hit at Christmas, if you could find them.
Well, you know, you mentioned, you know, the Legos. I think with your, the wooden logs that you had, and then the Tinker Toys and the Legos. I wonder what the next generation is going to be. And how about you, Adelita?
Well, I know that one of my goals was that because we didn't play as many games as a child with my family, I made it a goal that I want to introduce my children with some games, have some family time. So lots of box games are popular besides the Tinker Toys and the Legos. We play things like Jenga, Candyland, cards like Go Fish. And then there were other times where we just wanted to listen to music and sing along, stuff like that. And that got the children interested in wanting to get involved with theater or music. So I think, and as you were saying earlier, I thought, yes, whatever we did as a child seems to influence.
Yes, and I think Dominic is going to make it a career of music.
As an audio engineer, yeah.
Right. Isn't that something? And how about you, Fran?
We enjoyed going outside and inside with a group of friends and harmonizing. Most of us were in the church choirs. So when we get bored, instead of playing a game per se, we would go near the library or at somebody's home and sing and harmonize, and nobody kicked us out. So I guess we did pretty well.
Yeah, that is very, very good. Did anybody here ever take music lessons, or your children take music lessons?
I have a grandson who's a professor of music, Spanish guitar at Elmhurst College.
I have a recording of his, and it is beautiful. Yes. Mm-hmm.
In grade school, I took flute because that was something that was expected of all sixth graders. And then my own children all either played violin, trumpet, or saxophone. And then from there, it just led on to different directions, either theater or else, like you mentioned with Dominic.
And Rebecca plays the guitar.
The guitar as well, yes. Yeah, compose their own music. Yeah. So.
We have a family that's pretty outgoing, loves the theater, and loves to be involved in it. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a good thing.
It is, yeah.
Do you think that technology has changed a lot of things, and how do you feel about it?
Sad. I know everyone is thrilled with computers, but I've heard of people spending too much time on them. I think it's very sad when two people are at a restaurant and they're texting back and forth because they don't know how to communicate. I'm not against progressing and improving and, you know, joining, but the young people today do not know how to converse with each other, and I think that's a sadness.
That is true. And how about you? What do you?
I am not a techie. I rarely use the computer. I dust it, and I play solitaire. If I really need something on the computer, my husband Stuart or my son Adam, they will come to my rescue. I think it's a shame too. People don't talk on the phone that much. When they text, it's like you don't have to use any emotion, just the thumb movement, and people don't write anymore. I enjoy writing a letter here and there.
So it has changed life all along.
To me it has, yeah. To me
And
it has.
Adelita?
Well, I have a little mixture of everything. I remember in high school, a person came in during an assembly, talked about computers and the future. And then the computers back then was the size of a room, and talked about how these computers are going to be small enough to be on your lap, and I'm laughing. And then he says about the adding machine is going to be small enough like a credit card, on and on and on. And I thought, I need to live long enough to see this happen. And then you had the TV show called Get Smart, and I thought, well, maybe it's possible. So when it did happen, and it has been happening, I'm thinking, this is kind of fun. But at the same time, I feel that we need to mix it up. So for instance, me as parent, sure, I'll text my children, but I also find that I need to call
Socialize with them.
and socialize, so mix it up. And then I do write letters to my
I
grandchildren.
agree with you on that totally.
Right. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Well, we'll continue if we have a little bit more time, but we're going to take a look at a very interesting, fun thing to do with our food. It's called edible glitter. Isn't this pretty?
Yes.
Lovely.
Ah, nice.
Okay, so easy to make. All you need is a clear jar, and you can put as much sugar or salt in here that you want. Then you take your colors, and I'm just going to pull out whatever one comes out, the green. You take your, put 1 drop, or 2. It'll be dark. Okay, you put your cover on, and while you want it to be a clear jar, because you just shake it up.
Oh my.
And look, but that's step 1. Step 2, I take a piece of wax paper and I just spread it out. So let it air dry for 30 minutes or more. Some of the recipes say put it in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes, or put it into the microwave for 10 seconds and keep checking it. But I find it works very, very well. And you can see this is 1 drop.
That's
and
amazing.
This is 2 drops. You can combine different colors to make many. So what do you do with it? Okay, here we have chocolate pudding, okay? Here we have whipped cream. I'm gonna wake this
Oh
up.
my. Oh.
Okay, and since I've got the green out and I haven't got a spoon, I'm just going to take my fingers.
Oh,
How about
pretty.
Look at how nice.
that? Isn't that pretty?
That's
And also you can put this on sugar cookies. You can put it on, if you're making a margarita with salt, any different colors for the holidays and everything. Dip it in lemon juice and just dip this glass
Something
in there.
I could do.
And
It's
you have-
simple.
And
It's
it's so easy. You go to the store to buy this and you're
Oh,
paying
yes.
a fortune. And here
Very
we have
nice.
edible glitter. Okay,
wonderful.
are there any recipes that you, or fun things that you do with your family that you'd like to quickly share?
Well, I take little tangerine oranges, take the peeling off. Then I stick a small piece of celery on the top. That becomes the top of the pumpkin, is what it's going to eventually be. And then little cloves in the face to have little eyes. I made that last year with my students, my preschoolers, and then I carried it over to my granddaughter, who said, wanted to make more. So that was dessert that night for her family.
I think when we make food fun for kids, kids will eat it. And
This is a great
it becomes
idea.
rather interesting. Last month we made animals out of grapes and tomatoes and things like that. And it makes it very, very interesting for everyone. Well, I'd like to tell you about a change in food at the barn. Starting October 1st, we are having a new vendor at the barn. Everything has been pre-packaged previously and then heated up at the barn and served. But starting October 1st, we're going to have fresh meals delivered every day and served to you by our able staff. We will still have the salad bar, but you must sign up because just enough food for the people that have signed up will be there. So we'd love to see you come to the barn. Just give a call and we'll welcome you with open arms. And God bless you all and thank you for coming and God bless everyone.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.